your kicks.
So we just drove down the bumpiest gravel road to get to the check-in for the race. And as soon as we got here, Kristi went to get her ID. I realized she didn't have her ID.
I left my purse at the restaurant, so I don't have my ID to check in. We're in the middle of nowhere, and I also needed to get home.
So we gotta drive all the way back into town to get that before we can check in.
It all just feels the same. At my high school, it felt more to me like a jail cell, a penitentiary.
We're here to check in now. Do you have any papers? No. Small? Medium. Yeah.
Medium it is.
Thank you so much.
Got it.
So you can leave a drag bag for Goosebump and Grafton Mesa A stations. Oh, because you passed it twice. I'm so out of my comfort zone right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm running in shoes that I haven't broken in completely, but I think they're going to be good. I usually have a good feel. So I'm going to actually throw in a pair of shoes that I know I really like at mile 17, just in case. Then I'm also going to throw in a couple extra pairs of socks, some Band-Aids, and then a lot of food and electrolytes. So that's what we're doing right now. I've got a windbreaker with me that I'll probably start out in and probably end up in my drop bag. And I've got a hat also. Same thing, I'll probably start out in it and then it might end up in my drop bag. We'll see. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Well, I am going to make a PB&J because the only thing is it's Friday afternoon and I'm not going to be getting until Sunday afternoon, so it's going to be real soggy by the time I get to it. But that's okay. I don't have to take everything. I'd rather have more than not enough. So, this is really challenging, the food part, because I know all the things. So like, this is probably not normal, but like I have Snickers and I have Clif Bars, and that's because, and then I have shot blocks, which I ate during my marathon, and I ate these during the CrossFit Games and these, and I never got upset. So stuff like that, and then I have obviously my entire bag of Element. I brought like a ton. Stuff like that, I just want to make sure that it's stuff I've put into my body before, and that I'm not going out on a limb. I do have these Morton gels, which are supposedly really sensitive on your stomach, that I am going to throw in, and I'm going to take a gamble on, and hopefully they won't upset my stomach too much. That is what you're not supposed to do in your first race, but fingers crossed. 50 grams, so 200 calories. This should be in 1 hour. And then same with this. This is an hour and this is an hour. This is a lot of food, guys.
She's packing so much. She might need a bigger drop bag. I'm taking nothing. I'm doing the half, but I am taking a much more relaxed approach. I'm like, I can go 13 miles and I'll be just fine.
Halves don't get an option per drop bag. I get 2 options, which is making me paranoid that I'm like, shoot, do I really need this much?
I wouldn't even take it even if I did get the option.
I'd rather be over prepared than under. Loading.
It's Friday afternoon right now. We don't race until Sunday. So she's making this PB&J and she's about to go just sit it in a bag in the sun until Sunday. So I don't know why she thinks she's gonna eat this, but I think she's nervous about her calories, so.
Will it go bad?
I mean.
Does peanut butter go bad?
I don't think I would eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that sat in a hot bag for like 48 hours. I think she should just pack one and put it in her pack that she's carrying, those bags.
I'm just gonna eat it right now.
Problem solved.
I'll just make one on race morning and take it with me.
There we go, now we're thinking.
Waiting for someone to turn around, but she won't believe you when you fall down on your knees. She fell asleep, listening to my friends, talking on and on about how the world ends. Then she wakes up and climbs in my front seat. Six lanes, tail lights, red ants marching into the night.
So it's Saturday morning. We are about 24 hours out from race, maybe a little bit less than that. We stayed at the venue last night. So we're pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. And everybody's either in a tent or an RV or a camper van like we are. And about 4 o'clock this morning, we heard the 100 milers take off. So tomorrow's our kickoff day. And we had to be in for check-in Friday Today we've got pretty much the whole day, so we came down to Horseshoe Bend to do a little bit of hiking. It's about a 2.5-hour drive. We got the day to just kind of do whatever we want to, and it's beautiful down here. We'll head back tonight, eat a big dinner, and get ready for race day tomorrow.
So it's the day before the 50K and Pat's half marathon. We decided to use today to go to explore. So we're here at Horseshoe Bend, like Pat told you, and we're shaking our legs out, which is also nice. So you don't want to sit around. So we're gonna get about a nice good 3-ish mile hike in, just to kind of loosen everything up before the big day tomorrow.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band
Right before we headed out, we saw Springer hop down the path, and I've been looking for him this whole time. If I find that Springer spaniel, I'm definitely petting him.
waves hail to the chief. Ooh, they point the cannon at you. No, it ain't me.
All right, getting ready to race. It's about 5:40 in the morning. I did not get very much sleep last night. That's pretty typical. I also realized that Columbus is at about 800 to 900 feet elevation-wise, and we are at 5,000 feet out here. So number one thing, when you train for a race, you should always train at the conditions. Definitely didn't do that. So this is going to be an experience, and I'm really excited. I feel like I'm scatterbrained. I feel like I'm not in my element, but that's why we're doing it. I am currently at 470 steps. We'll see how many I'm at when we finish this day.
It's crazy, we just looked outside and there's a huge line of cars coming in. I assume most of the people that were racing were staying here because we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Literally there's a line out the park down the road of people coming in to race. Pretty wild.
I have way too much stuff with me. I feel like a pack mule. Is that what it's called? A little horse that's taking all the things with them up the mountain. Yeah, that's what I feel like right now. I usually run with nothing, no food, no water. So I'm trying to listen to everyone and fuel and hydrate the way that I think I should based on everything I know from all the nutrition I've studied. I'm gonna put it to practice.
Ready?
I'm nervous. 5 seconds. See you at the end. 3, 5, 5, 2. So if you need to track me. Oh my gosh.
Let's lay in the dead grass, stare at the stars, run away, you live.
I just got to show Kristi off. That was a really cool experience. There's probably a couple hundred people that ended up taking off at the same time. And as they were like taking off to start their 50K, there's people finishing the 100-mile race. Which means that they started 24 hours ago in the dark and are finishing in the dark, which is just pretty nuts. So it's actually a little bit warmer than it was yesterday morning. It's still really cold, like sweatshirts and gloves and hat cold, but it's not terrible. I think they'll warm up pretty quickly once the sun creeps up. I'm pretty excited to go myself. I've got about 2 hours until I go.
You sure about that?
Kristi told me my start time was 8. My start time was in fact 7. I hear him sitting in the van, bundled up, thinking I have an hour, and I hear him go, 10 seconds. So I ripped off my clothes, changed my shoes, and my start started about 200 meters away from the start line, about 4 minutes late. Thanks, Kristi.
She hid around corners and she hid under beds. She killed it with kisses, and for vomit she fled.
I'm 18 miles in and I feel really good. I was running with 2 people and now I'm by myself. The course has been a little challenging, just trying to figure out where to go, but I've had a total blast and it's absolutely beautiful. I've got about 12 more miles to go. I've got my elements in my bottles, some carbs, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 12 miles hold.
Run fast for your mother, run fast for your father, run for your children, for your sisters and brothers. Leave all your love and your longing behind. You can't carry it with you if you want to survive. The dark days are over, the dark days are done. Can you hear
I have 1.4 to go, all uphill. The last 5 miles have been really hard. Really hard. The trail was the harder one, and my legs are just heavy. I'm over 5 hours now, so we're at 5 hours and 10 minutes. Got about one mile to go.
Just finished. I'm doing a little cool down walk back to the van. I think I was 2 hours and 34-ish minutes. I gotta check my actual chip time because I'm not sure my watch was completely accurate. It also said that I ran 13.7 instead of 13.1. So I don't know if I took a little bit of a wrong turn somewhere or if maybe the course just kind of varies a little bit. That was freaking absolutely beautiful. I'm ready for some food. It's like Kristi mentioned.
Halves don't get an option for a drop bag.
And I didn't get any breakfast. I had one stinger, which I think is 100 calories since last night. So I'm ready for some carbs. I think my average pace was about 11:30 and my average heart rate was like about 132. So I'm gonna see if I can find where Kristi's at. We'll catch up with her shortly.
Oh my God, the last 8 miles was so hard. I ate it so bad. I just want to be done. I don't know whose idea this was.
Take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. I say you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money when you look like that, do you, honey? Big black boots.
I had so much food that I did not need. I didn't even touch my drop bags. I did it! Holy shit.
Did you eat your PB&J?
I didn't even take it. That was so fun. I got a Coke and a chocolate milk, but honestly, I feel like I absolutely crushed my fueling. I was so worried. Everyone's like, hydrate, fuel, and I had an Element and I had like a plain water, and I'd drink all the Element and just sip on the plain water occasionally, and then I'd refill, and I kept some Element packs with me. And then I had another carb drink that I tried, but I didn't really like it, so I dumped that out and put more Element in. And then I just focused on eating. So I stuck with everything that I knew. And it was like, if you're starting to feel like you're fading or you can't focus, then I take another gel. And I just feel like it's better to stress less. Like I was so stressed about that, and just go off feel and like to understand that I've done so many things training wise. Whew! I'm so pumped. 31.4, so it's actually a little bit over. I wonder what my average mile time on my watch was. I would stop it at the aid station, so my total time was a little longer. But it was cool because I only did a 16-mile training run, and that was the longest I went. And at 16 miles, I felt so good. Like I was cranking out some 8-minute miles after that, and then they took us into uphill on the trails at the end, and my legs were toast. So, but I feel like I crushed my fueling. I didn't cramp. I didn't get sick. I never bonked. And I didn't get blisters. I felt great the whole time. It was challenging, but honestly 27 to 31 was the hardest part, which is really what I expected because that's once you clear that marathon. And that was also 2.5 hours longer than I've ever run in my life. So it's just like continuing just to keep going. But I'm now an ultra marathoner, and I can honestly say all of the training that I've done, all the lift run, like being strong is so helpful when it comes to running. Like it's just, it helps you power up the up and the downhill, so it was really good. It was fun.
Van life's cool. We need a nice shower, a nice place to stay, and we're going around climbing.
Yeah. So seductive.
It was so nice to have a hot shower after the race. I was looking forward to that so much. Honestly, felt so good after. Like I really kind of can't believe it, which is kind of cool. I was telling Pat, the sorest thing on my body is my abs. I mean, my legs are pretty tired and sore too, but my abs are so sore. And he's convinced it's because I wore a weight vest because I packed so much food during the race and I didn't hardly consume any of it. A couple notable things that happened during the race are, first, I got lost quite a few times. The course was a little bit more challenging. When I did get lost, I accidentally kicked the cactus, and I had to stop at one point and take my shoe off to pull the little cactus pricklies out of my big toe. Let me tell you, cactus are super sharp. I knew that, but I've never actually been stuck by one. And wow, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can finish the race. That was like at mile 12. And then I wiped out at like mile 27, and I started getting like Gumby ankle. So I don't run trails ever, and I'm not used to that, and I was trying to push my pace on the trails, and I was getting a little sloppy and kind of like snapping my ankle here and there, and then all of a sudden I just took a huge spill. I've got like cuts all up my knee, which no big deal, just kind of hopped back up and was like, I'm this close, I'm gonna finish this race. So all in all, it was a really, really cool experience. I didn't feel like I noticed the elevation too much. And then also, like, trails were fine. A lot of people were saying, you know, road running doesn't transfer well to trail running. Well, I think that comes from weightlifting and just having strong legs. So being able to climb the uphills, being able to handle the downhills with strong quads, strong glutes, strong hamstrings, strong calves, strong Achilles really helped me on those uneven surfaces in the trails to support my body on all the uneven surfaces. And just as I pushed in different terrain with lots of climbing, which we don't have in Ohio, we're at like, I think I told you guys 800 feet or something like that, sea level, and then here's about 5,000 with, I think it was 2,700 feet of vertical throughout the entire race.
So miles went substantially faster as well. Like, because you've got so much to look at and it's so beautiful, it went way faster than a road run. Today, my quads are a little bit sore, my Achilles are a little bit sore. It was supposed to be like fairly non-technical and a little bit more of like a hard pack run, but it was not hard packed. It was actually like an inch or maybe an inch and a half of super fine dry dirt, so it was like running in really fine sand, and the paces just because of that were substantially slower than we were expecting. It seemed like it'd be really easy to run like a sub 10-minute mile pace, but my second mile was like 11:16. I immediately knew like this is definitely going to take me a little bit longer than I thought. It was one of probably the coolest things we've ever done, and we've got some cool stuff coming up over the next day or so. We're not done with our adventure yet. We're gonna do some climbing tomorrow while we're out here in Zion, which if you have not been, is in just like insanely beautiful place. And it is hard to describe the scale of the rocks that are just like jutting up out of the ground everywhere.
I see your dirty face, hide behind your collar. What is done in vain? Truth is hard to swallow, so you pray to God to justify the way you live a lie.
Beautiful day, doing a little climbing and rappelling. Taking in all Utah has to offer. For those of you wondering, it took me 58,436 steps to finish the 50K.
And if you don't follow us on Instagram, you should, because we gave the person with the closest gift a lifetime membership to IBEX. And if you want to learn more about IBEX and combining your lifting and your running, check the links below, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.